So here we're going to talk about an example of computing a distribution using Excel. So we're going to learn a few techniques and how to do this. So we have two sets of data here, and it's the heights of male and female optometry students. We have a few more females than we do have males. Now one of the first things we need to do, we're going to make a distribution. We need to count up all the different heights. We want to understand the nature of what the data looks like. When we compute statistics like mean and standard deviation, we're looking for the center of the distribution and its variability. But in order to understand that even better, we can look at the actual raw distribution. That's what we're going to do today. So the first thing we want to do is we want to find out what's the minimum value. So we're going to use the function min. And we're going to come down here and we're going to look at both columns. We're going to include both columns, the males and females. And we're going to come up with the min value, which was 53 inches. Do the same thing using the max function. So the smallest number is 53. Now we'll look for the largest number in this set. And the largest number is 76. So our numbers range from 53 to 76. Now, in order to count them up, we need to create a bin. And our bin are a set of bins, and they will range from 53 to 76. Now, I highlight the 53 and the 54. I come into the corner, I find this little square, I change it from a cursor that's a big plus to a little tiny black plus, and I drag it down, and as you can see, as we drag it down, it tells me what number I'm on. I'm on 61, 62, I'm going to go down to 76. There we go. So now we have a set of numbers from 53 to 76. Now we want to count the numbers, and we're going to do a separate column for the number of females and the number of males. And just to make things look a little neater, I like to center them. Now we're going to use a frequency, and this is an array frequency. It's a very special function. It's different than most functions you're familiar with, if you're familiar with any at all. And in this one, we first are going to want to incorporate all the numbers in the array. So we're going to actually highlight, just come down and highlight this column, the column that matches the 53 to 76. Then with the next thing I'm going to do is just press the equal sign. That brings me back up to the top, but keeps the column highlighted, and then type in frequency. You can see it comes up with this word frequency, and then I hit tab and it finishes it off. Now notice it says data array, comma, and bins array. So the data array for the females starts in number 2, comes all the way down to here. And then we hit a comma. And then we're going to look at the bins array. And that's going to be our 53. Well, that's kind of in the way there. It's annoying. That's not going to help. Well, we're going to say D2 to, now we can, D2 to D25. D25. And what I did after I typed that is I hit enter. Notice enter didn't do me much good. It only highlighted the 1. Let's try that again. Enter does not cut it. Lesson learned. I did that strictly for demonstration purposes. Equals frequency tab oops, female, we want female. Female comma D2 colon D25. Now, rather than hitting enter, at this point I've closed the parenthesis, and now I do Control, Shift, and Enter. And that gives me the counts all the way down here. I typed in Control, held down the Control key, then the Shift key, then the Enter key. And that gave me this column of frequencies. Counted up everybody. There's 10 63s if we went through and counted them up. Now let's do the same thing with males. Let's see if we can, let's see. I'm going to come down here. Equals frequency tab males comma D2 down to D25, and then again Control Shift Enter. And now we get the distribution of male heights. Now once we've got this, a nice thing to do is to plot them out. So we're going to plot them out. We're going to highlight the graphs. Notice that I have included the titles, females and males, and I've got their heights and the two columns there. I'm going to go to Insert, and under Charts, there's a variety of charts. I could do a little bar chart or something, a histogram. I'm going to do a line chart instead. So I'm going to pick this scatter plot. Now I could do a line chart. The problem with the line chart is in terms of the scale. It gets a little confusing with the scale. So I'm just going to do a shortcut and do the scatter plot. And I'm going to pick the scatter plot with lines. Now this is kind of ugly because it gives me a scale from 0 to 80. So we'll double click on the scale here, and under our axis options we're going to change the minimum to 50. Oops. Why didn't that change? Try that again. There we go. Okay, so you can see the females, the blue, their distribution, and the males there. You might want to get rid of the markers. They aren't really doing much for me. So I'm going to go to Fill, this little paint can, click on Marker, Marker Options, None. Go over here, None. Not really necessary, just looks a little neater. Okay, now just for the heck of it, let's do a total count as well. So let's come down here. We'll go equals frequency and this time we'll mark both columns. Start at row 2. Come down here, mark both columns because we want to get all the values. And then comma and our bins. Close the parenthesis and then Control Shift Enter. And then let's add this line to our graph. To do that, we click into our graph, and we could do it by just moving this over here like that. And now we have a new line. We could have also done it by right-clicking, selecting data, and adding another line. So that's making a overlapping frequency charts with Excel. Don't forget to save your information. And that's it. Thank you.